Yes, this is why you're here. Do you hear? Don't forget what you're fighting for.
Number one is traveling is not as scary as you think it is. And also, things are a lot more frightening from far away than they are close up. I do believe that applies to anything in life, but specifically with traveling. You can be filled with resources and information and ask everybody that you know that's traveled somewhere, that's experienced it, but your experience ultimately will be your own. So I do think it's important to uh, be cautious and fill yourself with the information necessary to understand how to get where you're going and set yourself up to be comfortable and safe when you get there. But aside from that, I really believe that showing up and pursuing things that are interesting to you. So whether you've always wanted to see a waterfall, or maybe you've had a fear of riding a scooter or motorbike, or maybe there's a certain kind of food you wanted to try, or a cooking lesson that you wanted to take. And maybe you wanted to learn to dance or make music. Um, I do believe that in another place, in another country, it's a lot easier for you to step outside of the validation circles that you experience at home in your own community. And you can really embrace the freedom that you have within yourself to experiment and try new things, and also to face and conquer some fears that you might have. So, whatever those fears are, I definitely had the same. It took me 10 years to travel and feel okay to do it. I always put my business first, and I always felt that traveling was for everybody else. And there were a whole bunch of things that I needed to accomplish before I could do it. I don't believe that now that I've experienced it. And as well, now that I've met so many people who are building and growing or vacationing, whatever their reason for traveling, everybody has such diverse backgrounds and they're all in different places for different reasons. But the one thread that they all have in common is that regardless of any fear that they had or something that might have held them back before, they did something new. They got there. They tried it. And you can't experience it until you do it. So I highly recommend that before you travel anywhere, or if you are considering, just remember that things are much scarier from far away than they are close up. And number two, it can be really overwhelming to be inside of a new culture, a new place, new smells, new weather, all of these things, especially the language barrier. So for me, I didn't know any of the Indonesian language before I arrived, but in the month that I spent, and actually the first month I spent off of social media, and it's just my journal and myself, and I really took the time to meet people, to ask them questions, to find out what was happening around me. I wanted to understand the food and the culture. And I also made a commitment to really spending a lot of time with my yoga practice. It was very important to me to experience yoga somewhere else in the world. And I took a lot away with me from that commitment, which has been amazing. Um, the reason I bring up number two is because I really believe that everywhere that I ended up and every time I was confused or overwhelmed or a little bit timid, as long as I smiled at somebody and as long as I was inviting and warm and authentic, it really opened up the space for people to be the same way with me. So whether that were, whether I was speaking with somebody or asking a question to somebody who had previously been traveling already from Europe, from the USA, from Canada, people are very open. They want to help you. They want to share information with you. And as well as people who live and were born in Indonesia, they're very friendly people. And I believe there are pockets of amazing, kind hearted, authentic people all over the world. The one thing that we all have in common and the one thing that we all understand is a smile. So making eye contact, smiling, and if that's a challenge for you, just try one person a day or make a little smile towards somebody if you're curious, and just see what happens, feel it, experience, because you have nothing to lose. And smiling and being open, being curious will really take you so far in your travels, and it will allow you to experience where you are and find out information and maybe find some travel partners to do things that you've really been thinking about doing, but you might not want to do completely on your own. And number three is community. I can't tell you how grateful and how much gratitude I live in every day for my community here and as well at home. The one thing that we have in common all over the world is love and community. People operate from this, and we really share this experience regardless of our backgrounds, where we're from, who we are, how we grew up. And people have a very primitive desire. It's in our blueprint to be a part of something, to share with people, to love, to nurture, to take care. And you'll experience community wherever you are in the world. And it doesn't take long to build. I found that traveling, there really is a stronger sense of community, a stronger sense than I've experienced. And coming from a small town, that was really important to me. And it helped me feel really safe and comfortable here. And because there are people in different places with common interests like traveling or yoga or music, you really have a lot to share. And there's a lot to be shared with you. So if you really pay attention and you listen and you watch what's happening around you, there are communities evolving and being built, and they're waiting for you to jump into. So I hope that you, when you travel, or if you do, or if this inspires you to feel more comfortable and excited to travel, there will be a community waiting for you. And this mindset of traveling and living in another country, whether you're a digital nomad, an entrepreneur, or just a woman on a mission to experience and overcome some fears, do some yoga, take care of yourself, whatever your goals are, there's a community that will nurture and support that for you. And it's really exciting. It's beautiful. More to come on this because I keep receiving different and new questions. But if you do have questions about anything traveling, about my experience traveling, and maybe something that you can take away with you, or if you have some fears or challenges you're facing, something you're curious about, whether it's Bali or anywhere else in the world, please let me know in the comments below. And you can email me, Alicia at alicia-hamilton.com. You can follow me on Instagram at Alicia Hamilton, Twitter at Alicia Hamilton, or you can visit my website and find more about my programs and what I offer, alicia-hamilton.com. And until I see you again soon, namaste.